Greetings, Arsmalik here. I'm back with the reflection video on my performance in day 11, or Mindcrack episode 7 of Surviving Mindcrack Island. I'm going to try my best to keep this one short because this is a short week. We did not have a reward challenge and an immunity challenge. We just had an immunity challenge, and we did not have any night fighting because of that either. And this one... Oh, that was cute. They're peeking at me. This one, in retrospect, I watched my video before this. I'm kind of frustrated with my performance in this one. Not in the challenge. The challenge was fine, but specifically in the whole talking performance. And I... Okay. So, to this day... Okay. So, if you hold down the pig button, it seems to go faster. I sucked at riding a pig. I mean, actually, I did fine at steering. But I think this was only the second time ever having been on a pig before. The first time, I think, was about 30 seconds of pig riding in a video for a World of Warcraft map that I played with Sean V. Martin. And I literally did that like a few days before this event. And so I thought I knew how to ride a pig. But I kept I think I kept right-clicking instead of holding down the right-clicking button. Although even now... Oh no, I kept left-clicking instead of right-clicking. That's what it is. I still don't even really know how to ride this freaking pig. But from what I saw in my video, I actually was a little bit behind, and then I caught all the way up to being second place. So I felt really good about that. But Desi had such a far lead. He won it, no questions asked. Now, there were 6 people left at this point, 3 blue and 3 red. So my tactic, at least what I said at the beginning of the video, is that I need to try and convince the other 2 people. Oh, no. I first wanted to convince, for some reason, Dyer and Darkfan and Honey that I voted for Darkfan. I didn't want them to know I voted for Dyer because I thought if I did that, they would turn against me. And I think that was still confusion. It didn't really come up that I could see. I don't know. But anyway, basically, basically that was a mess because we just had no time to get anyone alone to do any real strategizing. And what I really should have been focused on, and I think I tried to do this, but Honey was in the way. I wanted to get Desi and 3-2 alone and at least get them on my side, so I knew it was at least 3 of us. So anyway, we did the pig race, and since Desi won immunity... Well, right before the pig race, actually, Dyer gave me a book saying Desi was going home. Now, Desi winning immunity obviously changed that, so I thought they might be voting for 3-2. In fact, I think I had convinced myself of that, although I really should have been thinking that they were going to blindside me. And they actually should have blindsided me, to be honest with you. And that's me speaking from a tactics perspective, not from a foreshadowing perspective. Anyway, yeah. So I was either going home or 3-2 was possibly. I was hoping for a tie. I thought there's no way I'm going to get 4 people to vote Dyer. So then, okay, I'm jumping ahead. After the pig race, there was the interview. I said Dire Wolf again, although I do correct myself later in the episode. I finally learned his name this time, Dire Dwarf. And I legitimately thought at this point that Desi was not at all into politics, although we saw him last round go up to Honey and say, I want you in, so basically like trying to ally with her. He didn't actually try to persuade her to vote a certain way. He just said he wants her on the server. So it was weird. Okay, so then we're on the beach, and Dyer and Dark go off together, and Honey stuck with 3-2, and Desi and I. And I'm thinking in my mind, and I said this, okay, by the way, some of the things I said I had pushed to talk off so they didn't hear me, and some things they could hear, and there's not really a good way to tell it in the video, but I was thinking that, okay, she's been told, I don't know when they would have had chance to plan this, but she's been told to stick with us and make sure we don't get time together alone while Dark and Dire are off together. That's what I thought was going on. But now, looking back on all of her videos and stuff, I think she was just hanging out at the beach. And we were all, at this point, afraid to be alone. Because whoever's alone is probably going to get talked about, kind of thing. So then Desi asks about the book. And Honey pretty much explains exactly what was in the book. The last book, not the current book. I'm not sure if she even saw the book that had Desi's name, but Desi even says that his target is the person who started the book. Now, right then and there was my opportunity to confirm, yes, it was Dire. Now, Honey basically confirmed it in a roundabout way, and I think that actually convinced 3-2 and Desi to vote against Dire. So they were on my side. So mission accomplished by accident yet again. But I still needed Honey's vote. And I think this was the... See, I think no matter what I would say to her on the beach at this point, would not have changed her vote to vote for Dire. But my appeal would have been... if I were redoing this again with what I know up to this point, not any foreshadowing, my appeal would have been, look, this guy's playing the game. It's only a matter of time before he turns against you. So if if she's going to stick with him as a friend and just try to get him farther, I understand. But if we want to play this game the way you should play the game, he should have been everybody's target. I mean, even Dark fans should have been thinking about blindsides, but... You notice that Dark fan, well, at least as far as I know, never conspired with anybody, never even talked to anyone really, other than Dire. So he just was riding the coattails there to some degree, which is a little disappointing for me, having watched so much Survivor the last couple of weeks and seeing how to properly plan stuff. Yeah, so, all right. So then, Honey's explaining, and I'm just trying to dodge answering. Like, I don't know why. We were all so afraid to say anything because we were so afraid we were going to look bad either during or after the competition. Like, I think, we kind of questioned Vaughn being too forward when he made his move, and we were all too cautious this whole time. I mean, even me, who was scheming from moment one, was too cautious when it actually came to the point where I could try to persuade people. I do regret that. I guess I would have rather gone out fighting than going out sort of plotting. But anyway, I survived this round because we get to. Oh, I meant to say I found 2 creeper eggs, and even in finding the creeper eggs, I thought to myself, these are of no benefit to me. I'm going to throw them out there because I feel like they might have accidentally been put there by like the camera people, and I shouldn't have them. I could get in trouble for having them. So I threw them out, and of course 3-2 picked one up, and I don't know what happened to the other one at this point. I know what happened to it actually, but from my camera perspective, I don't know what happened to it. Now that's a foreshadow. So then Honey says she thinks there's multiple books. I say aloud that I voted for Dark Fan, even though I know Desi voted for Dark Fan. It was just honestly awkward, and it really frustrates me that it was so awkward and we couldn't just do some proper scheming. And in the video, I say that, okay, this whole video, I'm just going back and forth. Oh my gosh, I'm in trouble. Okay, now I'm sure Dire is a goner. Oh, I don't know what's going to happen. Like I mentioned treading the razor's edge several times. Seriously, that's what was... My mind it was so tired. So tired at this point. I think we were at 14 hours now, and My mind's going every which way all at once, and I don't know what to focus on. Should I be focused on, like, I should just stop focusing on I'm in trouble, how should I act? And I should have been focused on persuading the others. That's what I should have done. Period. And like I said, they should have blindsided me in this particular round. So then Good, we get the council. He starts saying, and again, you just see everybody dodging. It was pretty pathetic. It really frustrated me. Good says there's a spy game book, and because he used the specific word spy game, everybody else starts dodging. Oh, I never saw a book called Spy Game. And then it just got awkward, and I don't know. In the end, what made up the decision was what would happen on that beach. It was a tie for Desi was immune, so it was a tie for 3-2 in Dyer. And I thought, okay, there is a chance here. Like, this tie will determine my fate. Because what I thought was going to happen was that if 3-2 wins and Dyer's out, actually, if that happened, I thought I was good for another round or two. And if 3-2 got out and Dyer wins, then they should turn on me next round. I mean, that is completely what I thought by the end of this episode. There was a tie. And then there was a revote, which was a tie, but I guess I lost that footage. Or for whatever reason, I didn't edit into the video. I just went right to the... I'm still on a pig. I just went right to the spleef match, which, had a false start, and then it was over so quickly that... And I do wish 3-2 would have won, but he didn't. So 3-2's out, and I prided myself momentarily on being the last map maker still in the contest. So that's pretty much it. Now, there's not going to be another reflection video this week because we did everything in a short amount of time. So my next video will be on Friday the 29th. That'll be my day 12, and then my reflection for day 12. And if there was a day 13, then that'll be the following Monday. Just the normal pattern. I am recording this on Friday night, so I haven't seen the official episode yet. So if there is something in it that really... I feel is really, really important, maybe I'll do another video, but I'm not planning on one at this point. And I did only watch a couple videos from the last week's cycle. I watched, and links will be in the description, I watched Lorgon 111's Day 6 Part 2. And the cool thing that he captured there was after his exit interview, he got to talk with Good and Vaughn a little bit as a member of the jury, so you get to see how that kind of happened, and then they have a conversation, and Good, having known them, was really hoping one of them would have won all the way, and I'll be honest, like, I actually was a little bit disappointed that he didn't edit some of that out, because the three of them all basically made it sound like they don't care about the rest of us that are still in the competition. They don't really care to see any of us on the server. I don't think that's what they were saying. I think they were saying their preferences weren't on the server. And I know Good would say any of us are fine. We obviously were all pre-screened and stuff. But that we weren't, who he wanted on the server. So, and I think that's just because Good himself hadn't interacted with us too often. We were nominated by other Mindcrackers. So anyway, I watched Lorgon's episode, but if you want to see just some more behind the scenes stuff, check that out. I don't know. Well, I'll leave that for his video. And then I watched Honey's Day 6 retrospective. I think I've actually already covered everything she talked about in there, and you can see what comments I left her. And then one thing that I really did enjoy, though, is I got to finally listen to Vaughn when he appeared on the official Mindcrack podcast. And he got to talk about how it feels to finally be done with this, to not have the burden of these videos hanging over your head for over 2.5 years, and finally being able to say I didn't win. Speaking as Vaughn, when I say that, and just finally having it over. And I can tell you, like, I mean, either way, there's only 5 of us left now, so I think that's 3 or 4 more episodes, something like that. So, you know, it's almost over for me too. And as I said in my "What is Mindcrack Island," you know, this is one of the main things that kept me in Minecraft so long, and not retiring like other map makers. And you know, I'm in a very different place now than I was back then, and than I was last year. So this is one less thing keeping me in the game. Now, I certainly would love to be on the Mindcrack server, whether I win here or not. I don't know if that's an option. But to be honest, I have my own realm now, and I love the people that are on it, and we do some awesome, totally fun stuff. So I don't really have the need for it anymore. And I'm honored just to be here. And I've kind of retired from map reviews and pretty much retired from playing maps regularly. Still play them once in a while for fun, but not really reviewing them. And I think I'm probably mostly retired from making them, although as I do get ideas, I do pop one out from time to time. Starting to ramble. I did not actually have any of this planned in my notes, but well, I think I'll leave it at that for now. So, you know, day 11, I don't know. It was it was a foggy memory, the race. What I remember more was that spleef match and that feeling of walking the razor's edge of I am truly at risk now because the blue team is bonded and all that's left is Desi and I, which I thought we were very well bonded. I am drawing a total blank, but there was one point where Desi and I put cocoa beans up one of these trees, and we climbed around on top of these trees for quite a long time. And we actually found the tree males before they were given to us in the jungle. Now, I didn't read them, so I didn't get any spoilers, but we had quite a bit of footage of that. We came up over here. One of these trees you'll see in the videos, this one right here, it just has a straight line of cocoa beans all the way up, because in adventure mode back then you could still place them. So we pillared up to here, and then we just walked right up here, and we jumped up here, and then we went right about here, and there's just a chest on top of the tree with the tree mail. So I think somebody stuck a slab on top of it, so we couldn't get into it anymore. But anyway, during that whole event, like, I felt like Desi and I really bonded. Sounded like we had maybe similar professions at that point. And he was the one person I was most looking forward to collabing with after this. And we really never got to do it. I think I said in my original video that we were sort of afraid to collab too much because we might slip, or we didn't know if we'd spoil anything. We all had been under NDA legal agreements. So missed opportunities. But anyway, that's day 11. Wow, it took an interesting turn. I was planning for this to be short, and I rambled. But if you're watching this far, thank you. See you next week.